Hello, everyone, and welcome to Weekend with Wonder Woman on your own YouTube channel, CA Sansaar. In our previous weekends, we have met a lot of different women, but more or less all of them were somewhere connected to our profession. But हमारी आज की वंडर वुमन का कनेक्ट प्रोफेशन से नहीं बल्कि डायरेक्ट जिंदगी से है. Please welcome our guest for today, Neha Racca. She's completed her M.Sc in yoga in 2005. She's a USA certified E-Right 500-hour teacher, Pranic healer, psychotherapist. She's a wellness coach and a yoga therapist as well. She has more than 15 years of long, rich experience and has traveled worldwide to share her knowledge and experience. A very warm welcome, Neha, from another Neha.
Thank you, Neha, and thank you, CS Sansar. It's really very glad and a happy feeling again क्योंकि पहले हम एक बार मिले और उसके बाद अब फिर वंडर वुमन टाइटल के साथ मिल रहे हैं, which is something which is very good, and the title itself is very exciting and nice for all the women out there.
So, Neha, at what age did you start yoga and why did you choose this as a profession?
I think it's long ago I can say because I was very young. I didn't choose yoga for me. I was chosen by yoga. I can say it that way. I was in school. I've studied in Indore public school in Indore, so I was selected in the gymnastic team and then into the yoga team. So basically, मेरे योगा कोच जो वहाँ पे थे, लेट श्री उमेश जैन जी, उन्होंने मुझे योगा में ले लिया कि भाई बहुत फ्लेक्सिबल बॉडी है इसकी एंड इसको योगा में हम आगे स्कूल की कंपटीशन में फिर धीरे धीरे मैं इंटर स्कूल गई, फिर उसके बाद स्टेट लेवल गई, फिर नेशनल्स गई. सो बेसिकली वो स्कूल में जैसे बच्चों को लेते हैं ना, स्विमिंग में आ जाओ, जिम्नास्टिक में आ जाओ, फुटबॉल में आ जाओ. सो आई वाज आल्सो लाइक चोजन बाय हिम. So I give all the credit to whatever I am today to him because he chose this path for me in a way. उसके बाद बस योगा स्टार्ट हो गया. रोज स्कूल के बाद हम 1-2 घंटे प्रैक्टिस करते एंड देन प्रैक्टिस करते करते पहले स्कूल में आई स्टार्टेड गेटिंग वेरी गुड एट इट, फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी वगैरह में. फिर हम कॉम्पिटिशन्स में जाते थे तो एक अलग क्रेज आ गया कि भाई फर्स्ट आना है अब तो, बिकॉज दैट्स द ओनली टारगेट अ चाइल्ड हैज कि वी वांट टू विन. So बस फिर वो सिलसिला स्टेट लेवल तक गया एंड देन आई बिकेम गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट देयर एंड देन इन 1992 आई थिंक 92, yes, 92, 93 पे then the journey started where I was really getting every year 2-3 competitions होती थी और हम participate करते थे. There was a group of students और finally फिर 94, 95 में I was like at the top. So gold medal, finally I could get in like 2 years of hard work practice, which you can't even imagine now. क्योंकि ऐसी वाली प्रैक्टिस अब हम होती नहीं है. हम रो रो के सीखे हैं, मतलब लिटरली आंखों में से आंसू आते थे. And then my coach would be like, नहीं करना ही है सर को तो बस नेहा, keep going, keep going. So that motivation, that hard work, that all into the asanas. तब तक योगा का दूसरा साइड और ये कुछ पता नहीं था. So I think the question you asked about how I choose, I always feel that yoga has chosen me. It has it has always been around and given me an opportunity, an option to connect to it. एंड आई ऑलवेज कीप टेलिंग दिस कि हमेशा हमारे हमारे पास ना एक ऑप्शंस दिए जाते हैं एंड वी हैव टू चूज फ्रॉम दोज ऑप्शंस एंड द चॉइसेस वी मेक इज द फ्यूचर वी काइंड ऑफ go to. So that's how it is. It just started that way. लेकिन उसके बाद थोड़ा कहानी में ट्विस्ट आता है एंड हाई स्कूल एंड ऑल दैट स्कूलिंग टाइम पे योगा छूट जाता है बिकॉज पढ़ाई पे फोकस करना है. योगा को कोई करियर नहीं बनाता है 90s में. दैट टाइम रामदेव जी भी नहीं आए थे बताने के लिए कि यू नो घर घर में योगा पहुंच गया है. ना मोदी जी ने डिक्लेयर किया था कि इंटरनेशनल डे ऑफ योगा आएगा. सो नोबडी एक्चुअली फोकस्ड. योगा वाज either in competitions or for people after the retirement to get into the spiritual world. तो मेरा भी फिर career got a bit into the academics. I did my science, B.Sc computer science, and that's the time when there were things happening, and I again was pulled back into it. So I would you would want to know the entire journey till today, or
No, we have lot many questions to ask, so let's go ahead in it.
Yes.
So
So
what I have heard is that you were actually into modeling and acting, and you did a couple of serials with ZTV, Doordarshan also. So how was that shift? We always thought that you take that up as a career.
yes, actually, that's exactly the continuity of this story. So when I was in college, when I was in high school, while my academics, I got few offers for modeling just for my good height, and I was into a lot of plays, theater. I love dancing. So this took me into that, and then since photographs were taken and I did few shows, that started giving me more offers. So one after the other, it just changed up. I did a serial for ZTV and then Aapke Liye ETV, which went for a year, and I did anchoring and comparing also in few of them. Then finally, when I was in college second year doing my BSc Computer Science, I got an offer from Doordarshan. दूरदर्शन से उस समय मतलब बहुत it was big. Even today Doordarshan is big, but आजकल private channels are a lot more important for people. But that time DD Sports had offered me the first yoga serial, which they started as the name of Sahaj Swasthya. और उस सीरियल उस एपिसोड में एवरी डे हाफ एन आवर योगा दिखाते थे एंड देन आई वाज वन ऑफ द मेन लीड देयर demonstrating and doing yoga. उससे it brought a little change in my kind of career plans because मैं साइंस ले चुकी थी उसके बाद मैं एमसीए करना चाहती थी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स दे चुकी थी एंड आई वाज ऑलरेडी इनटू द वर्ड्स ऑफ doing that because everybody was doing computers was the I'm sure you would agree to that कि सब उसी में जा रहे थे तो I also thought कि ठीक है यही सबके लिए better है and corporate was my future. But somehow I was not very happy with computers. Like मैं जब भी बैठती थी programming and C sharp, C++ and all that, I would not be happy. Something was missing. And when this offer came, it just gave that little thought to me. Again, it chose me. So it came and told me that Neha, this is naturally coming to you. You don't have to put an effort here. So it's better you go here. And that's exactly what I did. So I finished my graduation and I didn't go for my MCA. And I tried to find out where I can get actual yogic knowledge, like the deep knowledge of theory into it, because there was no theory which I was given before. And there I found out a few schools. There were only few nameful schools which were available and giving the actual degree like masters or bachelors in yoga. And finally I chose Bangalore, S-VYASA, Swami Vivekananda Anusandhan Sansaar, and that just was a transition in my life. So मॉडलिंग और ये इसलिए नहीं किया क्योंकि वो हॉबी की तरह चलती गई उस दौरान. And during that process of working throughout the serials, theaters, modeling, shows, I realized that there was something inside of me which enjoyed it but wasn't made for it. There was a different pull towards yoga all through the time. It had become only a hobby. It was always a hobby. And then even today, I say that it's my passion more than my profession. I love it to the core of my heart. It's a way of life. So modeling और ये साथ में ही हो गए. तो yoga came into that. टीवी के अंदर आपको सीरियल में काम करने को मिल रहा है. You're facing the camera. You're getting paid for it. You're getting famous. And everything is happening what you would want at that age. कि सब कुछ आपको इस पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट से एज इन योगा से मिल रहा है एंड यू लव इट. So I was like, what more do you want? And my father and mother, fortunately, they were very supportive. So they didn't question me कि ये अजीब सी चीज जिसमें कोई नहीं जा रहा है. This is not the age for it. So others used to say this to me and my parents, but my father was like, कोई बात नहीं. I know you would do good and you're naturally good at it. It's been years you're practicing, so go for it. नहीं हुआ तो ठीक है, next year एक year drop ले लो, फिर कर लेना. Which was very encouraging and motivating, which I always tell parents that if you give that openness to your child, the child has a very safe feeling inside. Yeah, I can always come back and do something else. I'm not a failure. So I was not having that fear inside of me कि अगर ये नहीं हुआ तो मतलब क्या होगा लाइफ में. Somehow I had that courage कि चलो try करते हैं and I'll give my 100%. If this career doesn't work, I will always come back and keep this as a hobby and go back to my, mainstream, whatever computers or science or something else I would have chosen, or maybe modeling. You never know, maybe.
So, Neha, coming back to yoga, you're spreading knowledge just not in India but abroad. You've traveled to many countries, USA, Mauritius, Maldives. Do you feel there's any difference when you teach yoga abroad than what you teach back here in India?
Today it's 2020, yes. Last 5 to 8 years, there has been a lot of transition and changes into the field of yoga. I'm talking about when I started doing was 30 years back from now, 1990, or that's the time. And today it has changed in a way because in India it has always been a part of our culture, our lifestyle. So the value was gone because it was always there. तो कहते हैं ना घर की मुर्गी दाल बराबर होती है तो यहाँ पे इतनी नहीं हुई लेकिन बाहर जाके इसकी वैल्यू इसकी वर्थ इसकी यू नो दैट पीपल रियली क्रेव फॉर इट दे वांट इट दे क्यूरियस फॉर इट एंड दे आर वेरी सीरियस अबाउट इट ये यहाँ इंडिया में अब देख रहे हैं हम 5 साल में when things have come from outside to India. So when it went outside and then it came from there, then we started kind of acknowledging and liking and exploring it more. अदरवाइज बहुत छोटे ग्रुप में होता था ये बहुत छोटा एक confined ग्रुप था spiritual and yoga practitioners का and it was confined to there but today yoga is in every house everyone's life some or the other way हर किसी की जिंदगी का एक हिस्सा बन रहा है अभी which is a very good plus point. It has reached to people. The sad part is we took a lot of time to understand what was our own. वो फिर घूम फिर के आया तब हमें पता चला. But yes, outside people are also equally keen, equally interested, and they are more curious because they don't have the grounding and the base, which we have got naturally in our culture.
So, Neha, you have been also a yoga ambassador representing India for more than 4 years. How has been that experience?
Amazing. No, the words are very less because it is a proud feeling. It was indeed, and it is always going to be. 2015, Modi ji had declared the International Day of Yoga. 21st of June will be celebrated all through the globe, and many countries had willingly participated in it. And then, from India, all over the country, there were thousands of yoga teachers who were called in. We had to kind of fill up the forms and put in the application with your curriculums, with your report cards and all that. Now, again, a very lovely thing happened here. I was in Bangalore, very well settled with my own yoga, group, and then I'm teaching and all that. My dad filled up my form here without telling me, without asking for me, because he was like, "Government ka kuch ho raha hai, my daughter should do it." And after filling the form, after posting it to Delhi, he just calls and says, Neha, aisa article aaya and I've done that. So again, I'm reminding that again it chose me. I didn't go. So finally, I got selected and I was not very happy about it because I was like, how will I leave my work? And I had just set it up my Iti Yoga at that time. So I really wanted to put in more energy and more time and everything to it because it was just a baby there, coming up. But my dad filled it up, and then I got selected from thousands of us. We were called to Delhi. We had a written test, we had a practical test, and then we had an interview. So, crossing all one at a time, finally, I reached the 35 people who were going to 35 different countries. And then I was sent to Vietnam the first time, the first International Day of Yoga celebrated there all around the globe. So I was representing India there, which is it's just amazing to not only represent the subject you love, but also represent the country you're born in and you love the most. So when you go out as just as a tourist or as a person, individual, I think it's a very big difference when you have that big responsibility on you that every word you say is going to be an authority. So you can't just keep talking anything and saying anything in your fancy. You have to be very conscious about what you're saying, what you're putting on, because everything would be going into the papers or news channels, or it would become a live thing for everybody. That okay, Neha has said it. It means it's coming directly from India. That okay, yoga is like this, or we would do like this. So this is something which was great, and the other part was you automatically start feeling more value and worth of what you're having in your hand. So I was already loving the subject and things, but when I went outside, I was exposed to a certain different, different platform altogether, where people not only wanted to have that knowledge from you, but they were also knowing that if it's coming from you, it's the right knowledge, जो बहुत बड़ी बात है. तो इसका मतलब आपको 200% सही होना है. तो you have to learn and do it quite more, even more harder. So I started putting more pressure on myself, learning more, reading more, practicing more, because your body postures, and especially the eastern side of the globe, like Vietnam, most of them are super flexible. Like the flexibility is in them, they're born with it, and we have to kind of really push ourselves to get that little flexibility. So most of my students were even more flexible than me, and they were so loving. The language was different, so we had a different challenging time in there. Then I was sent to Mauritius for 3 years, almost 3 years, and there also it was amazing, the kind of gentry the people had. Like I had few hundreds, and then suddenly in couple of years time it became thousands. So we had thousands of Mauritians coming to the High Commission Center, the cultural center of India, to learn yoga. And not only yoga as an asanas, the actual values of the culture, the pranayams, the meditation techniques, how to conduct yourself. Because we would do a lot of theoretical sessions also, like talking about Bhagavad Gita, talking about Patanjali Yoga Sutras, talking about Vedas, Upanishads. So these enriched knowledge base is something which was not only as a teacher for the students beneficial, but as a teacher I grew a lot. I learned a lot when I was out for 4 years, 5 years, with the, of course, under the label of Indian government, and with the support of the, you know government, and you can say the nation in that way.
So, Neha, you added another feather to your cap when last year you gave a TEDx talk in Mauritius on happiness, a world within through yoga. So, share something about that experience with our viewers.
I feel very blessed actually that I was a part of the TEDx talk, because it's one of the most amazing platforms. I think every individual who is trying to send a message to the world, I was also one of them, and I am still one of them who is wanting to share a little lovely message of happiness throughout the globe. And that is something you can say is my purpose, or my main mission, which I feel should reach every individual. It doesn't mean which country, which religion, which caste, anyone. We all are seeking for happiness. And this just came to me once I was back from my schedule, like with the government. I had a contract, and we were all sent back in time. And then next year, after I came back to India, I got a call from there saying that, would you like to come here and give this talk? I was like, wow. So why, it's an amazing thing. I would definitely love to do it. And then they were like, Neha, everybody has loved you when you were here. And people would really love to know more and understand and learn more from you. And not only Mauritius, why not give this message to the entire world through this platform? So it's a precise few minutes of talk which we have to kind of put everything together in. So we are extempore speakers when we talk. Like now I'm talking, and I'm sure, when I talk, I get into that flow, and then it's sometimes more, sometimes less. We don't prepare the talk. But TEDx talk is something which you have to be precise, correct, and crisp, because it has to reach and send the message in the least possible. So that particular way of delivering the talk is something which I learned there. Second thing which was so amazing there was the message itself, because I wanted to share that happiness is not something which is outside, and which is known by all, but somehow we all are missing the actual essence of it. We are still seeking and searching it in people, in materials, in things, in various aspects outside. So through yoga, yogic path, how we can connect to this. And still I am working on it, and on various platforms I'm talking about it and trying to tell people that the more connected you are with yourself, the more connected you are with your inner world, the outer world automatically gets enhanced. So the TEDx talk was like another turning point and a transition in my life, which I always have felt a pleasure, because it also, like all the other options for me, came to me, and I was like chose for it. So it's really beautiful how I believe in the fact that the universe chooses things because you attract with your thoughts. So somewhere I had that inside of me, but instead of really running after it, somehow the things start happening. And that's the beauty of yoga. When you start living a yogic life, you see that things just happen. And you have to just, as we say, Krishna Arpanam. So we just give it as an offering to Krishna, and he does all the magic beyond.
So, as I read in the beginning that you're a motivational speaker, a pranic healer, psychotherapist, wellness coach, yoga therapist, how do you manage to juggle all such caps together?
I think they're not different caps. It's one cap with different feathers on it. So if you see all of these, they're all the same. It's only that the techniques are different. So motivation, psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, yoga therapist, all of these come from the base of way of life. So how you are having your lifestyle. So basically I have a concept not designed by me or like made by me or something, but it's an inculcated concept by different traditional text and gurus and teachers, which is already there. So I've just made up that, and it's just a beautiful way of presenting it to each individual in their own way. So you are different, you will need a different way of the same knowledge, and somebody else may need it in a different way because our understanding is on a different scale. Kids understand yoga in a different way. The people who are not well, they need a different module, though it's yoga, but then the modules are different. Psychotherapy is a way you can connect to the psychological aspect of a human. Now in yoga we have koshas. So we do have an emotional and a mental level which we have to work with. We can't just work on the physical body. So on whole, everything is very connected. Though I have done all different certifications to understand and learn more because I love learning. Being a teacher, I always tell my students, always be a student. So am I. I love to be a student myself so that you can always upgrade, you can grow, you can learn. And sitting on this side and that side, both is a different experience. So that's how it has been. And it has been very amazingly, I can say, it's a homogeneous, nice mixture of it, which now can be used by every individual and transform the life. And that's what the entire essence of Iti Yoga thing is. Because Iti Yoga, when I'm just kind of trying to tell you the full form of it, integral transformation of an individual. So basically, it's an integral transformation. You're not changing somebody, you're just transforming into a better version of yourself. So all these little techniques just help you to enhance your own self into a better version.
So, I was actually coming to Iti Yoga only. You mentioned that you started it around 8 years ago. So, what is it all about?
As I just said just right now, it is a kind of platform or a group which helps every individual, whoever comes to us. We try to give them, cater them what they need in their own way. So it's a tailor-made, designed program for each individual. We do definitely have group sessions and workshops and things also, but it's also very personalized because every individual needs a little bit of personal attention in the beginning. So it's like a kindergarten and a primary school. Once you get your roots strong, then you can actually have the tree growing strong, and then the fruits and flowers just come. You don't have to worry later. But the best and the most important hard work is done in the first few years. And that's what we are trying to keep the traditional yoga knowledge as it is. I have not changed anything into the way yoga has come from the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Patanjali, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. These all texts and these all great gurus who have brought us in this amazing knowledge. I kept it as it is, and I have just added up like a little more from my learnings from the other sectors. So what we have done is we have designed individual modules and also group modules. Plus, in Iti Yoga, it's the transformation which will come from yourself. We will not impose and put anything for you. It is something which you will get from your own self, and that will help you to grow. Because if I tell you don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this, your mind will resist a lot. But if you want to do something, and I just help you in doing that, I think it just becomes very smooth and easy. So we just provide the techniques, the tools, and the facilities, and of course the experience which we have. Like I have like 15, 20 years of my teaching experience, 25 years of my practice experience. This all learning for me has become my experience for others to learn from. So I kind of tell them that, okay, this worked for me and this worked for my 20 other students or people I have given this postures or dhyan meditation or pranayam techniques. And there's a lot of research which has been done into the field of yoga. So we have a lot of proofs that how yoga works amazingly at your mental level, emotional level, and the physical level. So Iti Yoga is a group of people who are trying to help the others who need that little support to grow for happiness, of course. So smiles are what we are trying to spread worldwide.
Lovely. So I must tell all my viewers. So when I visited the social media of Neha, I found very interesting pictures where she's doing yoga asana in the middle of an ocean, on top of a cliff, and whatnot. So how do you manage? What interests you in doing yoga at such different places?
That's, I think, a little bit of my craziness. I guess I love yoga. I love traveling. And every new place I go, I kind of take one yoga picture on that spot. So for me, that is like a memory. So what I love most is yoga. And when I love that place so much, I connect both together. And that becomes my permanent memory forever, just that moment captured into a picture. So to overcome fear, I think, is one of the most amazing reasons I tell my students also that fear holds on to a lot of things into us. So once we break free that fear with, of course, consciousness, not losing the senses. So we are not kind of not you're in your sense, you're not losing the sense, otherwise you will fall in under the cliff or in the ocean or somewhere. So basically it's being very, very conscious, very balanced inside, and that then putting that into the outer world. And I think for me it's not the toughest of the posture, it's just that something which connects to you into that moment on that place, and that's very personal. It's no big logic behind it. I just love to capture that moment into some yogic posture. So I just started doing it, and finally everybody started quoting and pointing it out. So I realized that it has become like a trademark for me that I keep doing that. But I think I love it. I love travels and I love mountains, oceans. Nature is like the second home for me. You keep me away from concrete and I'm a happy person. You put me into concrete and I'm like searching for air. Let me have one plant or some blue sky near me.
So Neha, we have heard a lot of stories wherein people who practice yoga got cured to the extent that a bedridden person even started walking. So you've been in this
Yes.
field for so long. So do you have any personal success stories of yoga that you can share with
Of
us?
Of course, there are plenty of them, but a couple of them I can just get in my like right now in my mind, and some things which which actually touched me also were about addictions. One of my student, very young boy, 17, 18-year old, was into drugs and all, and completely, and then again on above that had a heartbreak also. So that age you usually have one heartbreak break at that 20s ke pehle wala time. So it was really a very peculiar case, and I had already worked with these kind of situations and people. So I was insisting the mother to, put him with me. I'll take care. Just let him come into the classes without saying anything, without talking. So I was not doing direct healing or therapy, or because they have a lot of resistance. They don't want. It's just that doing the regular sessions for a few months, I would say it was so magical and it was so overwhelming that in one year, I think almost a year, I could see that the guy was perfectly fine, completely out of all addictions, got a job into a ship, and very beautifully sailing into the ocean. And the mother was so happy when he got the job and he left. She came to me, and I remember I was in the class. She waited for me to finish, and then she gave me the sweet box. And she was like, so literally, I had tears in my eyes that time, because I couldn't take that much of happiness that she was just literally joining hands and kind of wanting to touch my feet as if, I did some magic. I was like, I'm just a mediator. Something from up is already guiding and helping, so I'm just assisting. It's like a tool here. But the only trust she had was on me, so she actually said that कि मुझे आप पे भरोसा था कि कुछ ना कुछ हो जाएगा इसका, नहीं तो इसका मतलब we had lost hope on him कि ये पता नहीं जिंदा भी रहेगा कि नहीं, because he had committed suicide twice in order to. So this was one case. The other was for very middle-aged lady, which is again very cute case, because she was told by all the doctors that she'll go through the knee replacement, and she had problem in the lower back because of an accident, so she would not even walk the stairs in the house. She had a lift in the house because she would not go any walking. And I started taking therapy for her, and we worked, I think, for again, if I'm not wrong, it was 7 months or so. She was a Gujarati lady and wanted to play Garba very badly. But she was like missing it, that Neha, Navratri aayegi and I would not be, because last year also I was not able to. I'm like, we still have 7, 8 months. And we started. And then slowly, pehle to lift chudwai ki you start walking step by step. So it was a process. And when I say 7 months or when I say a year, we now while talking feel it like ek saal mein ho gaya. Lekin when that is happening, every day looks like a year. For the person who is going through, after 2 months, they'll be like, Dada, kuch ho nahi raha hai. I think it's not working. Nahi, mujhe nahi. Every time we get that. But yoga has a best part to it, that it's so scientifically made. The designs, the asanas, the combination of all the postures, the asanas, the pranayam, the meditation techniques, and plus the motivational affirmational talks which we inculcate through yoga nidra or through visualization meditation. We put them in their subconscious mind. And I also use my psychotherapy, hypnotherapy learnings. So that's how I mix it. So it is even more faster now. So if they can't take to their subconscious, I help them to put that seed into their subconscious. So it really helped her to come out, and no surgery and all was done. She's still there in Bangalore, and the first case is from Mauritius. So it's a process of it, but then yoga was magically amazing for these two and plenty more. So there was a suicidal case which I worked on, which was very depressive. Depression was the core. And then there were plenty of back pains, cervical spondylitis, diabetes, asthmatic patients completely on oxygen nebulizers, and we brought them into just inhalers. So, okay, one inhaler a day, and you don't need anything more. Stamina increased, immunity is better. So, lot of things like that, especially for people, those who have, stress factors of kids these days, the teenagers, the college. When I go to these colleges and their workshops, I take workshops on stress management. I see a lot of youngsters having stress in life, which just by few weeks of sessions, they see a different side of their own life. So it's like they change their perspective towards the life, which is very important. You will always have half glass full or half glass empty. If that's the case, you should just change your perspective to see the half full rather than the empty side. So, which is the best part yoga gives? So, I feel every individual should have yoga a part of life. Like we don't forget to wake up and get ready. Like I mean, take a shower and brush and all. Yoga should be that regularly disciplined way of life that you have to take out 1 hour for yourself. You do a little bit of breathing, little bit of meditation, little bit of body mobility, and a positive attitude inside, which is a beautiful mixture for a healthy and a happy life.
That's so great, Neha. You earlier did a webinar with us on how to create a life full of health, wealth, happiness. For all those who missed it, would you like to share some small tips how they can create a fulfilling life?
I think yes. The only message I would want to give everybody is to try to see the positive side of things. It's the best way to look at life. When I say yogic knowledge, it is also the knowledge of doing the karma and not always being greedy about the phal or the benefits of it. So actions are important. Selflessly done actions and intention being on the right side, the goals are well clear pictured of it, because sometimes we just keep vague goals. We don't know what we want, so we are ourselves so confused that the message we send into the universe is a confused message. So we don't know, sometimes we need this, sometimes we need this, sometimes we need that, so we don't know what we want. So that is one thing which is very important. The other part is we are made of physical cells and bones and flesh and all this. We need to move. The body needs mobility. It has to be a part of your life. So asanas should be there. The prana level, the breathing. You cannot imagine a day with a day is a too long. Let me say this: a minute without a breath. So you can hold your breath for maybe 10, 20, 30 seconds. But if I tell you 1 minute, I'm not giving you air. The second minute, you will know the value of this air which is coming in. So basically, this is most important thing, that you work movements for the physical body, which is asanas. Then you do breathing practice, pranayams for your prana body, which is the layer, which is another layer of ourselves. And then for emotional and mental self, which is our mind, our heart, our emotions, our feelings, our intellect. For these, we need to give meditation because it helps us to calm, it helps us to balance. So ध्यान इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है. और आज के टाइम में हम इतना स्ट्रेस में हैं बिकॉज आसपास से नेगेटिविटी इतनी आ रही है, स्पेशली अभी कोरोना टाइम में एवरीबडी इज इन द स्टेट ऑफ फियर, इनसिक्योरिटी. किसी के पास जॉब नहीं है, किसी के पास घर में खाने पीने का नहीं है, किसी के बच्चे कहाँ हैं, किसी का कोई एक्चुअली में पॉजिटिव डिटेक्ट हो गया है. सो देयर लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स गोइंग ऑन. किसी का करियर प्रोफेशन बिल्कुल ही मोस्ट ऑफ देम हैव बीन अफेक्टेड. So that insecurity and that fear will bring in physical problems also, like indigestion, gastric troubles, migraines, and headaches, and heart problems, asthma. These are all psychosomatic problems. So it's all coming from your mind. So that's why meditation is also very, very important aspect. So when I talk about yoga, it's a combination of all of these. So the message to all is to keep that in your mind. Get up every morning and feel good about that day. That day may have 10 not good things, but it will always have 20 better things which you have ignored. So it's the perspective. And then keep yourself fit by movements, by breathing practices, by meditation. Meditation is just sitting with yourself without any outer thoughts. So learn it first, learn the technique well. Because nowadays people have started doing a lot of recorded things from internet or reading some books. I would always say, if you're a beginner level, learn from a teacher. After that you can do it, because the base is strong with your teacher, because they know when you're doing right, when you're doing wrong, they can correct you, they can guide you. And after that, maybe you it's okay to just once in a while read through somewhere or see some thing on a video and then copy and practice it. But in the beginning, it's something which you have to learn. learn the technique well so that you know how to do and what to do, and then keep practicing on your own. So self practice is also a very important aspect. Smiles are very important, because if you're not having a face which is very pleasant for yourself, I don't think you will feel good, and I don't think anybody else around you will feel good. So already we are captured by so many things which is pulling us down. So let's lift ourselves up and lift each other up. This is very important. So instead of pulling each other down, it's important to lift each other. So that's the yoga way, uniting so that everything is together rather than separating and going individually here and there. I think I would love people to make yoga as their way of life.
So, lastly, Neha, any parting words on the Female Achiever series that CS Sansar has initiated featuring accomplished women like you?
I think it's a very good initiative, because our entire society, especially India, it's a male dominant society. And it's been there from a very long time. In every field we are facing it, so it's a very big achievement as such for a CS Ansar itself, that you are bringing up the women from every field, from every corner, and bringing them out to that platform where other females can get motivated. I'm sure there are many out there who are wanting to think about yoga as a lifestyle, yoga as a career. Because for me, yoga was my hobby, turned into my passion, and today it's my profession. So I'm like 24 hours, 365 days into yoga. Like that's what I do. And that's the only thing I do and know, I think. It's so it's very nice, because women need a little bit of motivation to break through the norms, the boxes which we have inculcated from so many years. Another aspect is that I really want to share this personally. I take Shakti workshops. The name itself is Shakti because it's only for women. And in that workshop, I basically teach women to know their own worth. I don't believe that men have dominated us. I believe in the fact that we have let them do that on us, because we forgot. That's why they made us believe in something else. So it's us who need to understand that we are Shakti. The name is given to us because we are powerful, because we are the main essence of the entire. We are the ones who have given birth to the next generation. So the entire essence of the universe is somewhere beneath, and we just have to uncover it. We just have to experience it. We just have to believe in our own self. And if all of us feel that, we don't need anybody else to approve it for us. किसी और को ये बोलना कि तुम ये कर सकती हो, इससे बेटर है हम खुद ये पहले बोल सकें कि ये मैं कर सकती हूँ, and I will do it, which is very important in every field. Being a mother, you don't always have to be a career woman. Being a mother itself and having a house to run the entire family, nurturing a child and bringing up that child to be a better human and a better citizen of a nation. It's a very big task, because mothers play that selflessly. So we never think that that's a job, because it's a not paid one. No? It's like unpaid job. So I think CS Ansar bringing in all that for everybody is also a great motivation for all the ladies down there, that we respect men and we don't want to be like them, because there's no competition. They have their uniqueness, we have ours. So we're not taking their place, we are at our place. We're just asking for that our place to be ours. And only when you believe it, others will start acknowledging and believing it. First, you have to start from here. So
Thank you
thank you
so
so
much,
much,
Neha.
actually. Now,
No,
pleasure
no.
was all mine, and I'm so glad that I was able to talk. And I hope my few words, what I have spoken today, or my life, my journey, maybe that would encourage some other woman sitting down somewhere, that she would feel that, okay, let me try. It's okay to try and it's okay to fail, because trust me, you will not fail. We are super powerful.
Thank you so much, Neha. Your words are always so full of life and motivation. It was such a pleasure having you with us today.
Thanks a lot. It's always been a pleasure, and I would always be happy. And for anybody who wants to reach me or to connect with me, please, it is feel free to do that through my social pages or my website, which is itiyoga.in. And definitely, Neha, we will be connected through the CS Ansar platform always. And good wishes to all. And always keep smiling and try to keep up the positivity inside of you, outside you.
Also, little token of
Thank you.
appreciation for CA Vivek Khurana sir, the founder of CA Sansaar, for conceptualizing and organizing this series. Thank you all for joining us today. We will be back with another Wonder Woman very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.